What's up, you guys? Welcome to Disney Movie News. Today, we've got Meat Dripper and Bone Cruncher from the BFG. Get ready, you'll see what that means.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Disney Movie News.
Woo, what an intro, huh?
I'm scared. I'm scared about who's sitting next to us.
It's just a
right
taste
now.
of things to come, because we have an awesome show today. Our first real official guest on the show today.
Yes.
Normally we have some friends stop by and hang out with us, but today we got the big money.
We have giants.
That's right. They're giants in their field.
BFG giants.
That's right. And we're on tonight, guys. Get ready. So as we move through this episode, I want you guys to keep questions in mind and store them up, because at the end of the show, we're going to let you loose. We're going to let you ask whatever you want to know. But we've got all kinds of news before that, and they're going to interact with us. I am your host, Leo Camacho, and you can follow me at Leo Zombie on Twitter and at Mr. Leo Zombie everywhere else.
Hi guys, I get to sit next to Leo today. It's very exciting. He's like trying to scoot further away from me.
Personal space is
I'm sorry. Anyways, my name is Keetin Marchi. You guys can follow me all over the interwebs at Keetin Marchi. And
tell them who we've got here today.
Okay, I don't want to. Okay, I can say Daniel Bacon. I can say that correctly.
Yes.
And then Paul Muniz de
Sa.
See, you.
It's a short
should've-
name.
Yeah.
Sa.
Yeah.
Paul Muniz de
Paul
Sa.
Muniz de Sa.
And Daniel Bacon.
Yeah.
Two
I
of
had-
the giants from BFG. You guys just had the premiere last night.
Yes.
How was that?
Yeah.
The lack of response is enough of a response.
It was crazy. It's
Crazy?
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been it's been a really amazing road to get here, and I think just finally having that chance to get there, see the movie, and see each other.
Oh, it was
again,
your first
too.
time also seeing the movie?
That was my
Yeah.
first time seeing the
First
movie
time seeing the
too,
movie.
so it was really special.
That's really
Where
cool.
was the premiere?
El
Capitan.
Capitan.
El Capitan.
Yep.
El Capitan. And so first time seeing it, everybody was there. Spielberg, everybody.
Whole gang.
What did that feel like being in a theater, like the El Capitan theater? First of all, kind of. Have you
With
guys
the
ever
organ
seen a
player.
film there?
Yeah,
And
did they play music from
play
the movie?
music.
Or was it just generic Disney music?
It was him off the top, and then all of a sudden he just disappeared. It was
Yeah,
like
they
this
just sink
weird-
into the stage. It doesn't even matter what he's playing at that point.
Magic.
That's really cool. Congratulations, you guys, for having
Thank
that
you.
experience.
Thank you very much.
And letting me experience vicariously through you.
And we're gonna rush through the news.
We're just
today,
going to tear
guys.
through the moves. The news is just,
It's not important because
it is important because, it happened.
Genuine apology,
And
so.
news is important, but I really want to get to the meat dripper of the conversation. But first order of business, Finding Dory just
I've
came
seen
out,
it
you guys.
twice,
You've already seen it
though.
twice, which is almost relevant to the first piece of the Easter eggs, which have been revealed. People are already finding the Easter eggs in this movie, which are all over the place. I feel like they went a little ham on this one because it seemed like Inside Out and The Good Dinosaur didn't have that many Easter eggs, and on this one they just laid it on real thick.
you guys know how like most Pixar movies have thrown in great. You guys, they are huge Disney fans too.
Oh, so you're legit.
They
legit.
know they're legit, but they haven't seen Finding Dory yet, so
I
we can't
haven't.
ruin it for them.
Minus 1 point from Gryffindor. Okay, so
That's okay. I'm a Slytherin.
the main Easter egg that appears in every, first of all, is the truck. Have they revealed the truck yet?
I've seen it twice, and I did
You
not.
didn't see the
I was
truck.
not even paying attention to the Easter eggs because it was just
Yeah,
so cute
it's
and
a,
good. and I
first of all,
just
it's a
loved
visually
it.
stunning movie.
It's so
Unbelievable.
beautiful. The water, the fish, the eyes. I felt like the eyes of the fish were so
Especially Baby Dory.
cool. Oh my God, Baby Dory.
Anyway,
You guys are so
we're like getting you guys hyped
Baby
without.
Baby Dory.
That's a really good impression, actually. Without even seeing the movie, you're nailing the impression. But next to the Pixar truck, there is the A113, which is the class at CalArts, which most of the Pixar early artists got their start at. And it's already been revealed, and they hit it in a really... It's actually in the movie twice.
Really?
Yeah, but the most creative way is on the two sea lions, which... What are their names? Rudder and...
Literally one of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah,
They're in maybe 2 or 3
yeah.
scenes, and they're hilarious.
it's Idris Elba and what's the other dude from The Wire? Basically, they're enemies in the show The Wire, and here they're best friends, and they just yell at people all day. But they have tags on their fins. And the first tag says A1, and the second tag says 1-3.
Aw.
So next time you're watching the scene, look at their
tags on their
look at
fins
their
that they
tags.
flip up.
But there's all kinds, and then the other one that really that kind of got me all jazzed up in Disney Fanny was, show the next image. Look back there. There's a poster. There's a photo pinned to the wall, and it's Darla from the first Finding Nemo, the one who actually who's at the
Oh
dentist's
yeah,
office.
she's holding the
She's
the
holding
thing.
the
That's
bag.
that picture. Yeah.
That's her back there. I thought that was so cool. Like, how
Did
do
you notice that?
No, I absolutely did not. But a lot of them are already online. So if you look up Finding Dory Easter eggs, you can find out. And actually, her tag is also an Easter egg, if I'm not mistaken. I just can't remember what for. There's a ton of numbers and addresses and birthdays and things like that hidden in every number in this movie. Like everything is significant in some
I feel
way.
like they must get bored. They're like, let's put more in. It's like, how much
And
time
that's
do you
the
have
people.
to make these like movies
Yeah.
like that
Hey,
you
Scott,
can
when
like
were
do
you
all
born?
this stuff?
Yeah, let's just make his birthday the thing. And that's what they're doing. That's how they
Yeah.
roll.
Hey, guess what I'm gonna do here, guys? Watch this. It's funny. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it must be. That's how they entertain themselves with hours of rendering that they're doing.
This is true.
Oh, did you just go to the? Oh, okay, no, that's. Oh yeah. You can see like there's one on the tag, even like the letters on the boxes and the boats. When the boat pulls up and picks her up, you know what I'm talking about. No spoilers.
Watch your
No,
spoilers.
I'm not.
Watch your spoilers.
You don't know who? You don't know who? Just saying, guys.
Don't talk about boats and butts like
Watch.
that. 'Cause-
Just watch closely when you see that movie. Okay,
Is
moving
that-
on.
We should move on.
We'll move on to
Wait,
the
why
thing-
don't let's just say overall thoughts of the movie.
Oh, overall thoughts.
So we can move on.
I liked it a lot. I don't know if I like. Here's the thing: the first movie was so good. It was so original, and it was so captivating, right? And it's like you're taking those characters. It was learning about those characters that really appealed to me, and just kind of exploring this world. This movie expands on that, and it looks better than the first one. But I don't know if it has the same exact charm. It's a fun adventure, and I love the movie. But I don't know if it has that exact, sort of wonder that the first one did. How do you feel?
So Finding Nemo, favorite Pixar film.
If Finding Nemo's a 10, this is a 9, though. That's what I'm saying.
I liked this almost. Watching them back to back at Dory After Dark was very fun. Watching them back to back, I felt the pacing of this movie was so much better than Finding Nemo.
It's very fast.
It was very fast paced, which I really very much enjoyed. Don't know if that was just because I was so exhausted by the time the second movie started at 2 a.m. at the El Capitan Theater, but I don't know. I just thought it was more fun. It was quicker jokes. It was wittier. Again, I think you're so right about the first one was so new and something so different. But I felt like they were able to make up for those
certainly
things
held
with the new
up that
characters.
standard,
Oh
though.
my gosh, the octopus, like Ed O'Neill.
He killed it.
Killed
He
it.
was amazing.
Killed it as the octopus. I thought the writing on this was so good.
Is this making you guys want to see it?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be
yeah.
about.
You're really leaving here.
He just walk, all of a sudden the door slides open. But I thought all the characters that were kind of the supporting characters in this movie
All the new
were
characters
so
were
much
amazing.
stronger
And
than they were in the
everybody
last
gets
movie.
their moment too.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like they just threw characters in for the sake of having.
Ty Burrell, oh my.
So good. He's so good. He's a beluga whale learns to use his sonar for the first time. It's amazing. Like who thought of that?
Oh my gosh.
It's an
great.
amazing movie. I want to know from the chat. You guys, let me know if you have seen the movie. What do you think? Type it in the chat. Let's see some thoughts.
Everyone's
Who's your
saying
favorite character?
Hank,
Everybody
Hank,
loves Hank.
Hank.
I don't even have to ask. Everybody's about Hank. He was so amazing. The way they utilized his camouflage was so creative in this movie. But yeah, go see it if you haven't.
And we're going to talk about
Go
it
see it
more
if you
in depth next week.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get it when Sarah comes back. We'll really break it down for you guys. Let's move on to my section of the
Star Wars,
universe.
nothing
Star
but
Wars.
Star Wars.
Those great big
Dun,
crazy
Star Wars.
Guys.
Thank you.
Music to my ears. Twofold.
Sarah's not here to roll her eyes
That's
at
right.
us this week.
When Sarah, the other host of the show, isn't on, we go Star Wars crazy because she hates it. She doesn't hate Star Wars.
Yeah,
I hate Star Wars.
She doesn't hate Star Wars. Sarah, you've been replaced.
made my heart
Listen,
jump.
BFG was your stepping stone to being a host on Disney Movie News. I'm glad you were able to make it.
Yep.
Star Wars, guys. I know a couple of episodes ago we were talking about the rumors that Darth Vader might be in Rogue One, and it has been confirmed. Entertainment Weekly has stated that he is going to be in the movie. He is going to be in the movie, which gives some weight to the other rumor that he will be involved in some major battle scenes, like actually on the battlefield, partaking in some
Like
Rogue
less
One battles.
old Darth Vader. Like
Yeah.
maybe like more.
Here's my question. He's
he-
mostly a robot.
Yeah.
Does he age? Like, does his body go through the aging process?
Well, that's one of the things about when they did the reboots, right? They did the remakes, and they had originally an older man, and then they put.
How do you feel about
Hayden
that?
Christensen.
The re-ghosting of
Oh,
Anakin
it's-
Skywalker.
It's tough for me. I was like at 7. It was the first sort of major film experience I had was to go to Star Wars, and so the original is like so close to my heart. And so when they made little changes, I was like, it's not what it used to be.
Who shot first?
Right?
The prequels are just meh.
Here's the thing. Here's what I always say: the prequels, take it or leave it. But I feel like it set up the lore of the Jedi really well. It gave them structure. The problem is then it like debunked whatever Vader was. So, ups and downs with Star Wars. But yeah, we're gonna get some Vader action, which is really cool, and apparently other familiar Star Wars faces. As a matter of fact, who's the actor that they cast as a young Han Solo? Apparently, he might have a cameo. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. The
He
guy
was in,
from
Hail Caesar?
Yes, and he was the best part of Hail Caesar. He was so
what everybody says.
good. I could not. I honestly, when they had like the breakdown of all the actors that were up for that Han Solo role, I was like, ooh, I don't really know. Like, I don't actually like any of these guys. Really, they should have cast the guy
That's what I was
who played
about
the
to
young
say.
guy in The Age of Adeline, the young Harrison Ford in that.
He was
oh
up for
my
it.
gosh, he was. He
like-
looks just like him and can do his voice, and it's crazy.
We'll see. Well, I mean, maybe it was like too much, right? They wanted a kind of a completely fresh take on Han Solo.
I don't question it anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's gonna do a great job if he beat out all those guys, and he was again the best part of Hail Caesar.
Yeah, there's a Entertainment Weekly did it's right, Aldrin and
How do you do
I
that
can't
name?
even Enrin
That sounds like an elf in Lord of the Rings. That's like what that is a Lord of the Rings
Aldrin
name.
Irwindale Enrenreich.
Son of.
It's a sealed deal. So Entertainment Weekly, we are on the cover. I say we because I am collectively part of the Star Wars
family.
universe, which is really exciting. So a lot of details are starting to spill. Guys, we're 6 months away from a new Star Wars movie. How cool is that?
It's
right around the corner.
And then a year away from the next episode.
So oh yeah, that's right, because it's coming out earlier. It's not doing December next year, which is insane. I'm super stoked about it. How do you guys feel about Darth Vader being in the movie? Are you excited? Is he your favorite villain of all time? The answer is yes. Thank you. Moving on. This is our last piece of news before we get to the real meat and potatoes. Guys, the thing you've all been waiting for. I know that you lose sleep at night wondering if this would ever happen.
Oh my
And it
God.
is confirmed there will be a Frozen Lego short movie. Guys,
Why?
rejoice.
I don't need any more Frozen in my life.
It is apparently going to be an original story using familiar faces, minus Hans.
Hans is the worst.
Using Lego characters. How Disney approved this, I will never know. But we don't know much about the story other than they all go on an adventure together and they are made of Lego.
Really glad you threw that piece of news in this week, Leo. So glad I know
here's
about
the thing,
that.
Here's the thing. Every piece of news for the last week is Finding Dory and BFG. Everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, we don't need to cover too much BFG because we're going to be getting into that. And Dory, all right, we've got a piece of news in there already. But Frozen Lego, I mean, it's like the Renaissance all over.
Lego's like trying to reach out to a female demographic.
Is that what they're doing?
Lego's always tried to reach out to a female demographic. I feel like, but they've never really succeeded because they make the girl version of Legos like bigger and easier,
Yeah,
and
well,
it's like whoa.
I was about to say I'm
whoa.
a little peeved at this because they broke their stereotypical Lego look. Like even the characters in the Lego movie look like Lego Man. These guys look a little bit more like Duplo characters. With their necks and
I know, right?
Just
Right?
drops it like Duplo.
Duplo, like
No,
it's just
Duplo.
part of normal conversation.
it's a little too advanced for me. So we'll see. I'll withhold my initial review before I even see the movie. But
That Sven with
I don't know what's going
Olaf
on.
on
It
his
looks-
head
it
is
looks like he's-
really that's freaking me out a lot.
I don't know what's going to happen. But also, additionally, they just opened the Frozen ride at Epcot Center, and there are videos of that online, and it is a technological feat. It is a wonder.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched the entire Frozen show. The
Oh,
one
yeah,
at
that also
Disneyland.
launched.
That's all. That's on
There's like
mine
an
right now,
hour-long
too.
stage
show
performance.
for Frozen.
Wow.
Everything is Frozen now, but I watched it and it was actually better
And
than
everything is frozen. It links up.
Everything is Frozen. Everything is cool when it's part
Cool?
of. No.
That's a really
Yeah,
good.
right?
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, enough with the
Moving
dad
on.
jokes and enough with the news, guys. Thank you for coming and being on the show.
Thank you for having us
Pleasure.
here.
This is really cool. We've never had real movie stars on set before. So, guys, get your questions ready. But let's just begin here. What was it like when you found out you were going to be in this movie? I want to know the initial thought, like what goes through your head when you find out you're going to be a giant.
You're going to be a giant in a
'Cause
Steven
not only-
Spielberg Disney movie.
I was going to say there are multiple layers here. Not only is it Disney, not only is it Steven Spielberg, but it's like a childhood classic. Like this is one of those things.
I'm not sure what yours was like. I had a very interesting one in that when I got the initial email from my agent that for the audition.
You got it through an email. Oh, for the audition.
For the audition, and I'm like, a giant? I'm 5'9", like 170. How am I gonna play a giant? What is this? So I read further, and then as I whittled my way through, I'm like, oh, he's directing it. Okay, maybe we should
I can be a giant.
pay attention to this. And then it was very interesting because we had to create a scene. We had a scene of scripted dialogue, and then we had to create a scene for ourselves. So it was a very interesting process to have to then go about creating something. And so I went out, read the book, watched the animated film, and just prepped as much as I could to prepare for it. And then did the one audition. And I was surprised to not get a second call back or anything.
nailed it.
You just did the
Apparently did the one. And then about 3 weeks later, I got a call that I was on a short list of about 10 or so. I'm like, oh, okay.
You're like, there's only 9 giants.
Right? And then I was on another short list a few days later. I'm like, okay, I'm whittling down. And then about 5 days after that, I got the call that, in the morning, my agent says, how's your morning going? I'm like, it's good. She goes, I think it might get better. I'm like, what's going on? She goes, well, I have news for you that you've been approved as a giant. And I went, okay, cool.
I guess that is big news.
That's
Big news.
Thank you. You're a little slow at there, Angels.
BF,
I needed that.
BFGN.
I can see his mouth searching for the sound effect.
Yeah, mine was a little different actually because I actually wasn't submitted for anything. And I went into audition for something else, and to be honest with you, I have no idea what it is now. But they were holding auditions for
Conan the Barbarian.
And it was good times. The casting agent was just having a good time. Every time she'd leave the audition room, she'd be laughing and just going, "This is so much fun," and she'd just keep saying hi to me. And then eventually she came out, and just went, "You'd be great for this," and I went, "Sure." And she said, "So, are you available to audition on Wednesday?" I was like, "Sure."
Yes,
no idea. All I know is that the people that I were seeing going into that audition room were actors that I actually really respected. And so when she said, I think you'd be great for this, I'd like to bring you in for an audition, I said, sure. I called my agent and said, they want to bring me in for this giant thing. And my agent just went, wow, that's big.
Got that pun.
And I had no idea what she was talking about. Because honestly, I didn't know. No one was saying what the project was. Sure. It was only once I then got the email with the sides that I saw, oh, it's Steven Spielberg. Now I get what you're talking about. Yeah. And I just thought, I'm going to have a good time here, do my thing. And
sure.
I think that was the best part because we spoke about amongst there was 4 of us from Vancouver that were cast as giants, and we said they saw so many people. Like, what did we do that stood out
so
from
cool,
these other
though.
people?
There's something about that organic sort of
we all
process.
had fun. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? All of us
There was
spoke.
Maybe that's it, though,
There was in the audition. There was actually this section where the giant was sleeping, and the night before I was looking at my son, and my son was doing this. And I actually went, I'm using it. She did that.
Lock it in.
Is he in the credits? I want to make sure he gets properly credited for that.
I actually got partially naked for mine, not in a bad way.
Sure.
I had.
Well, you got the role.
Listen, we all have that thing that puts us in that space.
Yeah.
I understand.
I had track pants on and I rolled them up and made sort of a diaper sort of thing, and then took my shirt off and. Owning my,
you slathered mud all over your body.
Yeah, the dad bod that I was inheriting.
Dad bods are in right now, guys.
So,
dad bods are in.
By the way, you guys got some Vancouver fam apparently in the chat. Shout outs to Vancouver.
And CD 604.
Are
Annie
you both
Allen.
from Vancouver?
Yeah.
What? Is that just pure coincidence? Or did they sense that they're like, oh, these Vancouver kids, make them some giants?
Well, as I said, there's 4 of us.
There's 4 of us.
There's
from
5
Vancouver.
Canadians, 1 from Toronto, and then 4 from Vancouver.
Did you guys? You guys shot in Vancouver, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we actually shot just down the street from my house. It was
Yeah, he
the
walked
best
to
thing.
set.
What?
Yeah, it was-
So,
Yeah, I kind of live in this lovely little forested community, and
as a giant should, by the way.
The funny thing is, every day I'd walk to the studio, and I'd start walking like a giant.
You lumbered in.
I'd put music on my headphones, just.
What is your giant
drop a
pump up
goat.
song?
Lunch.
Giant pump up song.
Giant pump up song.
Holy cow! And I have music for so many things. I don't know if I had a giant.
You didn't have a
What
giant
song?
one?
A giant
Because he,
No.
like, what song did they listen to get into there?
Pump Up.
Pump Up.
Pump
yeah,
Up,
got it,
yeah.
got it.
Pump Up song.
I think
Like, what
the
was it?
one I probably used.
What would we had a little thing that we did was from West Side Story with the
Oh, that
the
was so
Jets
much
and the Sharks, you know.
Oh my god.
So we had that. We'd walk in, you know.
Donna.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Donna.
So that was there. So we
That
could
was there.
use
That was lots of fun.
That's so cool.
How long did you guys shoot?
Yeah, that was my
We were
next
there
question.
2 months.
Yeah, just over 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
Every day for 2 months, just knocking out voices.
Well, there was a lot of rehearsals. We had a
Yeah.
lot of movement rehearsal because we'd work out
And
the.
it's performance capture too.
Okay.
So
Oh, really? So you
yeah,
guys
so
have
it's
to do
not
mocap
voices.
as
It's
well?
actually it's performance capture.
we were in the suits, the gray suits.
Yeah.
With the
Oh,
dots.
dots.
and
That's
the,
very cool.
The helmet cam.
Had you
Yeah.
done mocap before? And
I hadn't.
hadn't.
No.
really,
No.
what was that
It was-
experience like?
You know, it was actually really amazing. What I loved about it is that we had that time to play together to begin with.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Start to develop the relationships amongst the 9.
yeah, a bit of a
not
hierarchy.
so friendly giants.
And even just, you know.
By the way,
all the-
hierarchy. Okay. every time.
We could just go for days. For days.
But yeah, no, we started creating a lot of backstories and relationships with each of these giants.
Sure.
Too, you know, Daniel's actually his character's got a bit of a.
Yeah, I had the Terry Notary, our choreographer, took little elements of our own personal things, and we would like integrate it into our giant.
so cool.
And I'd had a bit of a hip injury, and so one side is stronger than the other for me. So we said, well, what if one side was really strong and the other one? So I did this thing where this arm was dead.
Yeah.
And so a few days after we'd done this, we had to do a procession for Steven. And we walked around as our giant so he could get a sense of us and get a look. And when I did that, he's like, oh, this is great. I like this. Because when we were doing the testing in LA, one of the guys did this. But you know what really sells this? Is we put weights on you.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'm like, oh. So he had like a 25-pound weight on my arm
Sure.
and on my ankle. And about, 2 weeks later, I'm like, why do my ribs hurt?
only my left side.
Only my left side.
He got it.
Yes!
He got it.
There we go.
You're on top of that.
What was the first time meeting Steven like? And like, I mean, as an actor,
Sure,
I feel
yeah.
like that is a director that like that's on your short list, if not number one.
He came to your house, right? Like he came by my house and
Yeah.
just knocked on the door and said, "Hey, what's up?
Hey,
Thanks
dude."
for doing No.
Oh, I was like, this is what you
Vancouver
done.
represent.
He just walked up the trail to my place.
Yeah.
through the
With a
forest,
25-pound
through the forest,
weight
yeah.
and-
We had a
With the song.
cookout.
Well, we were like presented to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Oh,
It
Lord.
really was.
Lord
actually.
Spielberg.
Well, we were also lucky because we were in there before all the giants were too. So I think there was about 4 of us that were doing something else too.
Yeah, and
And-
you might catch a glimpse of
Of the beard.
something. I had no
Yeah.
beard because the dots. You had to put the dots on your face.
yeah.
So I had
That's
no
true.
beard. The beard was gone for the whole show.
Did you see what your characters looked like?
Yeah.
Like,
I was
could you
about-
see
that was
them?
my next question. Or did they make them look like you in post?
Well, if anybody thinks that my giant looks like me, I'm kind of offended.
I meant small
Not very
traits.
good looking at all. Yeah, we.
They kind of morphed a little bit, didn't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, they kind of morphed a little bit. It was interesting because we were able to get kind of an idea of what the giant was going to look like as we moved. So as we were in the volume, we had that ability to create the physicality and see what that would look like on screen. But I mean, the detail was.
Well, it's
not
really
there.
funny. It's really funny you said that because after what I watched the trailer a couple times, even before I knew that we were going to be talking to you. Because what really kind of caught my attention was the way they moved through their physical space, right? In their physical space, and the scene when they show all of the bad giants kind of walk up to the old. What's the main giant's name? I don't even know.
BFG.
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 Is it just the BFG?
The
He's
big
the
friendly
B-
giant,
he's the
or
BFG.
Paul. Sometimes we call him Paul.
Paul.
No,
Just-
it's the BFG.
Oh yeah, Paul.
My son was very disappointed that I wasn't playing the BFG.
Yeah.
Well, you're a bigger
It was
FG.
very. Yeah.
Well, not so friendly giant. So my point was when they walk up to him for the first time, they like push a bridge out of the way. But the way they all kind of
Circle around.
strut- yeah.
Dun, dun,
And I
dun.
noticed, I'm like, God, these guys have so much attitude in their movement that
Yeah.
just like it just oozes, like the character oozes out of the
you
screen.
can't just be like lumber guy.
Yeah,
you have to have
yeah.
like a reason
There's a
why
charisma
you
to
move
it, right?
the
Like
way
he
you
was just
move.
like,
Yeah.
I'm the giant and I'm the best and I'm intimidating.
My giant, people ask me, well, what's your giant? I go, well, mine's got a bit of urban flavor. He's maybe
yeah.
a shade darker than the others, shaved head, and so there was that element that I had. So
You had the cred.
Yeah, because I
had
feel
the
like if you guys knew what these guys kind of looked like beforehand, it kind of gave you an idea of what to put into these characters.
Yeah,
We
how much
did
the
actually.
book? How much did the book help you do that?
Well, Quentin Blake, who does the animation in the book, it borrows on that, but it is a slight different look from what he has in the book. I don't know.
Well, I think one of the things that I really loved was being able to speak with a costume designer too, and actually see what
cool.
the giants were also going to wear. Like for me, the meat dripper has this suit of armor that's around his neck and just hanging.
Oh, it's like a normal person.
It's
Oh,
a
like
normal
his
person's
chain.
suit
It's
of
like
armor.
his chain.
Wow.
It was
Yeah.
his bling, right?
Yeah.
It was just that suit of armor, and I don't know, for me that became kind of this talisman for me.
Yeah.
It became a part of my backstory of that was my first kill.
Yeah, yeah.
That was very much for me. Like I wear that with
The
pride,
first fight, put up a fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was,
that's
it was
cool.
huge.
They,
that way.
they did an amazing job of having us be individuals, and just in terms of the look and the style and energy of each of them. And then it's not just working with Steven, like there's a whole team of people that he brings, certain people in each department, from hair to makeup to wardrobe to sound, that are all just like at the top of their game, like multi-Oscar winners. And so it was really great to be immersed in people that have been doing this for so long and are so good at what they do, and we're so humble. Like you would never know that
That's
what
crazy.
the work they've done.
You guys have been working for forever. What was it like? Like, what type of director is Steven to work with? Like, and you guys have worked with lots of directors.
Yeah.
I think what he's got a lot of heart. I think that's the biggest thing I would say is, I never felt like he was coming and going, I'm Steven Spielberg. He knew what he wanted, and he got the right people and trusted everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing for me. It was an honor just to feel like I was in here and I was trusted with his role. And
I was blown away how sharp he was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like having the catalog of films he's done and has done as long as he just came in every day full of energy and was really sharp, knew every little detail. Like if there was ever a question about, is it this or is this, he always was right in terms of what element they were looking at.
And there's such a love for film. I mean, that's the thing about it too. You could see that every day, that love for film, and I thought was really contagious in that way.
He's
too.
very in tune with the audience experience as well. So a lot of times he's like, well, what's the audience experience from this? So, whether, you think he's cutting edge or avant-garde or whatever, it's not about that. It's about, the people who will see this film will enjoy.
He's making it, but he's also watching it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, very
Exactly,
much so.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that there were times where we're acting and I could just see him lying down on the floor watching. From this
That was
angle.
by
That's
far
cool.
Yeah, that was
That's
pretty
cool.
amazing.
highlight of the whole experience for me. There's a bit at the end. It's in the book where they're getting taken away, the evil giants, and they had this sort of netting that we could lie in, and then they lifted us off the ground. And at one point, I got lifted off, and Steven laid down underneath me with his Starbucks mug. It was just like, "All right, Dan, let's go," And you're like, he doesn't just know my name. Like, he's laying on the floor underneath me. It's just like
That image will forever be seared in
You'll
your
never,
mind.
you'll never watch E.T. the same way.
No.
What does he drink? Like, what is in that coffee cup?
What do I need? What do I need to
Magic.
That's very cool. Is this? I'm just curious. Is this like a departure from previous work that you've done? Is this something totally new and different and fantasy, or have you done work along these lines before?
I've never done performance capture before, so that was a whole
Right.
new experience. I've done a lot of sci-fi. It's
A lot of
been-
sci-fi, yeah.
A lot of sci-fi films in Vancouver too. So I've done a lot of sci-fi.
But were you human in the sci-fi?
Yeah.
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 I've branched into doing voiceover in the last few years. So
Yeah.
I've done a cartoon series. I did Iron Man Armored Adventures.
Oh, sure.
And I'm doing Bob the Builder at the current.
yeah, you're
current
Leo.
time. Leo, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was like boring a little bit from that. You know what I mean? Because when you're doing, especially with prelay, you have to
That's true.
really sort of embody and give it a sense, because they're going to draw it from whatever you do. So so having that prelay experience, I'm like, okay, I know what I can
That's
do
cool.
with this. Yeah. And one of the other things he did is he was really Steven was really in tune with working with Braitz's Bill Hader and Jermaine Clement. I mean, two very funny guys. And if we were riffing just beforehand, before we were actually starting a take, Steven would hear it and go, "Oh, ooh, I like that. Let's try that." And so he was really collaborative and would like incorporate
And
things
organic,
and
it
organic.
sounds like, yeah.
It's funny because you place so much trust in him, and he's really just putting all the trust on you, right? Like, you do what you do. This is why we brought you in here.
Exactly.
You guys have this natural chemistry. That's why we chat. That's really neat. That's such an amazing part of the story.
Now, the trailers, I've watched them many times. This movie feels dark to me.
Yeah.
Is it dark, or like is it Disney, or
Is
is
it
it
like
like
Harry
is it kind
Potter
of
Oh,
a,
isn't that lovely? Is it dark or is it Disney? That's
Well-
lovely. Sorry.
but like
Disney's pretty dark.
old school Disney was a little dark.
Yeah,
You look at Black
yeah.
Cauldron, you look at a lot of like the live action films that Disney did back in the 80s.
Did you
but-
just throw out Black Hole?
Yeah,
I love Black Hole.
it's a good movie.
Thank you. That made my night.
You are so welcome. But is this kind of like a throwback to that, or does this lighten up and?
Like,
don't know,
like
is that a
is
spoiler?
this,
It's
is
a
this,
bit of a spoiler.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
I
I don't
think
want to
so.
know. Then I don't want to.
is this Harry Potter
Am I gonna be scared?
and the Philosopher's Stone, or is this Harry Potter and
Prisoner of Azkaban.
No,
Or
let's go even
Half-Blood
down.
Prince?
Yeah, let's go Half-Blood
Half-Blood
Prince. Like, where are we on the spectrum of dark?
Without spoilers, probably closer to Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you look at the book, if you read the book, it's a story about the BFG and so forth.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I think, it wasn't any different than what my expectations as
Oh,
someone
really?
who read the book had said. I said, it's a story about those two. And I think, if you looked at, having the late Melissa Matheson as the screenwriter, there you can see and feel a lot of the E.T. parallels.
Oh,
within it.
really?
Yeah. So, when I read the script, I'm like, I can feel.
E.T. is terrifying though.
So there's none of us have keys though. So none of us have any keys on us. So there's that. So you don't have to worry
Okay.
about that.
Okay.
By the way, I like to use this is just a random tangent note, but like E.T. was like the last movie that I feel captured that 80s household that was completely messy, and then after that, no houses were ever messy in movies ever again.
So true.
You know what I'm
It's so
talking
true.
It's like, whatever happened to messy houses in
Yeah.
movies?
My
man?
house is
Every
still
house
messy.
is perfect.
We'll film every movie there.
Well,
Sure, come on.
it's down the street
It's
from
just-
where they
yeah.
filmed BFG, so it's close to the studios.
Maybe if they invited me, maybe if I could have been like the little giant, the little friendly giant, that would have been cool.
So,
yeah.
what do you guys? I know I want to keep talking about BFG, but I also want
Yeah,
you guys to
that's-
have a chance to talk about like
What's next?
projects are coming up for you. Who wants to go first?
Well, I just shot an episode of the show called Shut Eye for Hulu. I guest spot on that.
When can we see that?
I believe that actually starts in August.
Okay.
Actually, they'll start airing that. And it's actually interesting because I won't be able to see it in Canada.
That's right. They have totally different rules.
But it's an amazing project. I think the actors are top notch and the scripts are unreal. I think it's really going to be a great piece. Yeah.
That's really cool. What kind of story are we talking about?
Well, it's got a bit of it's kind of about the Roma culture, the Gypsy culture,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
And it's got a bit of almost a mafia-esque type quality to it.
I love that.
And it's. I'm not going to say dark, but it's also really witty. As I said, I thought it was really well written too. The scripts are absolutely fabulous, and it's interesting because I kind of play this. A college professor who's part of that family, but
Trying to.
but really kind of going, we want to bring
Right.
the Roma culture to life, and they're going, no, that's not. Don't do that.
Chill out, man.
Isabella Rossellini's in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she plays. I say she plays my aunt, but really I play her nephew, and she doesn't like me.
Oh, he's such a lovable
Your sense of,
guy.
your
I'm
sense
a
of
lovely
propriety
man.
is
You
is
both
admirable.
are very lovely men. It's sad that you both played these evil giants. I can't.
I'm gonna fall in love with the Giants. I'm like, you guys aren't evil.
Yes.
So cute.
Yeah.
So that's next. That's your next. That's your next bag.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's it.
What's on your plate?
As I mentioned, I'm doing Bob the Builder, so I
Still
voice
currently,
Leo
yeah.
currently. I have a really nice role in Brain on Fire, which I don't think has a release date yet, but I think the fall,
Okay.
which is based on the book of the same name about Suzanne Cahalan. And I got to work opposite Chloe Grace Moretz, which was
Whoa.
super cool. And
She's really.
Which version of her? She plays she has like such a crazy range.
you
She's all
know,
over the place.
and she's really, I was really kind of impressed by
Yeah.
how well she played it, because the character is going through a descent into almost a madness, if you will. And I thought she did such a great job with what she did. So that was really cool. And Hallmark Channel does a number of films in Vancouver, and I seem to have fallen into their favor, which is great. Not a bad place to be.
Yeah.
But they're really cool because they have a lot of these like 80s and 90s stars that as the leads in it. So I got to work with Jenny Garth recently, and then Danica Keller from Winnie Cooper from Wonder Years.
Yeah, totally.
And then I actually fly home tomorrow, and I'll be working with Debbie Gibson.
What?
Yeah. So
You guys are in the right company. But
I
you said
need
90
to move
stars.
to Canada.
Yeah.
actually, we're not Canadians anymore. I don't want to get political too far, but we've been now dubbed Snow Mexicans by one of your presidential candidates.
Lord.
Did he really say that?
Snow
He did
Mexicans,
not
which is
say
kind of
that.
sexy. I think he was trying to knock us,
I
but
sort
it
of
was
hot,
like it.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Own it.
living in Southern California and speaking Spanish, I'm automatically Mexican. And when I refute that, they go, "Oh, so you're a European Mexican? You're always some kind of Mexican in the States." That's just the way it goes. Man, that's really cool. That's
is cool.
God, I totally lost my train of thought. Oh yes, the Leo thing. Leo is Bob the Builder. Because my name is Leo, anybody named Leo or sees a character named Leo. So I had a weird little moment when I saw that in your IMDb. I'm like, I know that character.
Leo should have been fired a few times.
He should have been.
My character is like,
Yeah,
I'm like, every
I
time I
was
read a
about to
script,
say.
I'm like, really? I'm like, and he's keeping me on?
I have one particular memory of a clip where he was making a wave for a tank, and I believe it's a crane, tells him it looks like a shark fin, and he's like, "You're right." I was like, "What kind of carpenter are you?"
Yeah. Well, the worst part too is like both with Iron Man and with Bob the Builder, I don't change my voice, and it makes me realize, as somebody who's in my 40s, that I sound like a 15-year-old.
Well, that was my next question. You're the voice of the Giants. Can you do the voices?
Yeah,
here?
can you do your voices?
Or is it just your natural voice?
No, it's not my natural voice.
No.
We all had to do the accents.
Yeah,
too.
they wanted
Oh, you had
a
to do
flavoring of,
accents.
Yeah.
of British accent. That was part of the audition, is that we had to do it in a British accent. And
had you spoken in a British accent for prolonged periods of time before?
the crazy thing is, Paul's originally from the
I'm from
Azores.
Portugal, from
He's
the
from
Azores.
Portugal.
Okay.
I'm originally from England, and two of the other Canadian
well, that's
judges are both
cheating.
from England as well.
Yeah.
So it was.
It's in your blood.
It's in our blood.
Yeah. That's pretty
Can
cool.
you say like maybe just hello?
Just like a line.
Just say hello in your giant voice.
Hello.
Oi, Ron. Hello.
That's so dope. I know it's just like hello, but I'm just like losing my mind.
Oh
That's
my
amazing.
gosh, that's
God, thank
so
you guys for
cool.
doing that.
Do you guys like, because you just had a baby, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Just had a baby,
congratulations.
and you have an 8-year-old.
Well, I didn't have
I've
the
done
baby.
it.
My
You
wife
did not have the
did,
baby,
yeah.
but you missed Star Wars because of the baby.
Yes, I did.
It's okay. It's all worth it. It's totally
When the baby gets old enough, I want you to bring it up like, hey, I just want you to know.
I don't want to hijack, but there's a sort of a funny sequence. So he was actually due on December 21st, and my wife went into labor early on the night of the 17th, and I had 2 a.m. tickets. So overnight, the baby was delivered, but he ended up being born on Steven Spielberg's birthday.
What?
And I found out during the filming of the movie that she was pregnant.
Whoa. That's
Crazy.
crazy.
How long ago did you guys film this? Like 2 years ago?
Last year, we
Yeah.
were
Oh, very
doing kind
quick.
of, I guess it was March
End of
to
March
May.
to end of
March
May.
to May, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fairly fast turnaround, I think, for the scope of the CG. That's wow,
Absolutely.
cool.
So do you guys read to your kids? Like, will you read to your kids? You read to your
Oh, I
to
do
your-
actually,
in
and
your
I have
cool
to
voices?
say, no, I don't. I don't read in that voice. When
Why
I do
not?
that voice, because he tells me to stop it.
Oh.
But I did try reading
Father,
the
please.
BFG to him, and with the first line being it was the witching hour, he went, "No, turn it off, turn it off." I was like, buddy, it's a book.
That's
you
gonna
don't
be
turn it off.
my go-to line now to get people to stop. Turn it off.
Turn it off.
That's amazing.
Turn it off. I'm just gonna tell you, Leo, next time.
I was
turn it
gonna
off.
say that you
Just
can use
turn it
that
off.
tool against me here. Did you guys get to see the application of like the visual? Like, did you get to see the characters? Because you're acting it out, but did you get to see sort of like a mock-up of it happening in the computer
In real time.
in real time, or shortly after?
Kinda.
So you had a feeling of what it would look like.
I mean, the guys from Weta,
Yeah,
they
it's
know
Weta.
what they're doing.
It's
They're
Weta.
killing it, and so we.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could. I mean, it was the setup was because I also watched when other people were on in the volume as well, and so you could see what was happening live. They had monitors where you can see us, and then you could also see the animation happening. But the animation, as I said, it wasn't as detailed.
Wasn't
as
nowhere near
we
detail.
get. But we did get at least an idea of the
Sure.
vastness of the place of giant country.
Right. And do you make adjustments when you see that? You're like, oh, okay, and then kind of go, oh, let's
Yeah, to
change
some
it.
extent you really do, because it actually does make a difference. You know, finding that weight. If I didn't have that kind of weight in the lower half of my body, you could see that actually.
And it's so detailed. Like every little movement you make,
It catches it.
We catch it.
That's so.
And it's kind of cool because they said, you don't have to be actually doing a take in order to capture the footage. We could just be sitting, as long as we're in the volume, we were just interacting with each other. You could make faces and do movements.
And it caught it.
Well, that was the beautiful thing. It didn't matter where you were, because they were catching everything at all points.
And they could just rearrange it in 3D space.
And that's exactly it. So it was actually, I think, a really wonderful way of working, because they didn't have to reset anything in order to get a different, look, right? They could automatically do all that stuff later, going, we just want to close up here and take this here. So for
and in
me,
a sense, it's like your guard drops, right? And you just become more.
it was wonderful.
always
It was
on.
just always offering, offering. And it was even times too that because we had these cameras right here, right in our face.
Was it on a rig?
Yeah. So it didn't matter where we were going. This thing was always a close up.
Yeah.
And there were times when I remember being seated, and all of a sudden they'd start filming, and the light would go on, and all of a sudden my face would go.
And it was really great what happened the other day.
It was like you're on switch.
And it was. It really was. Light goes on. Like Pavlov's dogs.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Well, the guys from Wet Out 2 were telling us that, like I said, just do stuff, because if you are Pirates of the Caribbean fan, Bill Nighy's character, when he would do the little sort
Bootstrap.
of
He played Davy Jones. Davy Jones.
Yeah, he do the
Davy
little
Jones.
pop. He goes,
Yeah.
that was just something that Bill, and we just, we caught it and we're able to accentuate
sure.
that. So they're like, do little stuff like that. We'll capture it and we'll add it in. So.
I was actually thinking about that specifically when you brought up the suit of armor, because every single trinket on Jack Sparrow, he made a story for, and it's why you believe that character so wholeheartedly, because he has a story for everything, even if you never see it.
It's sort of, you hear it all the time, but attention to detail makes such a difference in a
all the
story,
difference in the world.
and from Our Giants to the way the book is written by Roald Dahl to the attention to detail that Stephen put into this. I mean, you'll see when you go into the BFG's home, like there's little things everywhere, and everything's got a backstory for it, which is really cool.
Is it as messy as E.T.'s home? Just want to.
Well, we are.
Only once we go in there.
Oh, spoilers.
Oh,
we
what?
are running low on time,
let's
so
go to the,
we're going to
chat
take
room.
3 questions from the chat room.
All right, guys.
So
By the way,
first,
they're loving it. They're saying this is
they're
awesome.
like obsessed with it.
They said you are goals.
Wait, Charlie Sloan asked, if you guys could switch roles with anyone in the movie, which role would you want to switch
Oh,
with,
that's
and
interesting.
why?
Oh, what was that? Go
No,
back.
which
I like this one too.
You like
I
that?
don't know.
If I could switch roles with anyone.
I don't know.
I mean, if you wouldn't want
we
to,
could.
you could say no.
I really like my character
Yeah, me
personally.
too.
Fine.
I had a really great time. As I really liked the camaraderie.
Yeah.
It's funny because we're the giants and we're the mean giants.
Yeah.
But the relationships with all of us, we just kind of started to
We
liked
bonded,
each other. We
like-
bonded.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember when Daniel told me that his wife was pregnant. I mean, that was on set. It was big.
Big news.
We still actually, we still chat. We still get together.
That's cool.
It was funny.
Well, you
'cause,
guys are near each other,
I used to say to my wife, "We're going up with the Giants tonight."
I was like, are you guys on like a giant group chat?
Oh yeah, we do. We
do.
We were all
still doing it
messaging
here,
each other
actually,
before
yeah.
a game because Dari Olafsson, he's from Iceland, and so we know I'm coming in, guys. We're like, okay, we'll see you.
Party? Yeah.
That camaraderie was actually really, really big, and Jermaine too.
Yeah.
It's just,
Bill
That's right,
was
Jermaine,
really
yeah,
cool, and
of
Bill
course.
was super cool too. He was very like, hey guys, do you feel as silly in this gray suit as
That's
I
a
do?
really good Even with.
yeah.
How old did you say your son?
My son's 8 years old.
8 years old. Is he freaking out? Does he think it's super cool?
I think he's starting to get it now.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest with you, last year, I don't think he quite understood it. But I think now as things have started to kind of come out and he can start to see the giant and he actually can see who I am and he kind of has realized, wow, actually, this is kind of a bigger deal.
Like you guys might even actually
gonna
have
have
like an
toys.
action
We
figure.
might.
You guys might have
Here's
toys.
hoping.
You ready for that? Dude?
That's like an actor's dream. Like you know, you gotta have that action figure or that
Yeah.
toy at some
Yeah,
point.
right now I just pretend all of Oscar Isaac's toys are mine.
Black Widow.
Well, I did see a BFG bobblehead
Yes.
yesterday. Yeah, that
That's
was
fun.
kind of
Well,
cool.
get ready. I'm sure for like the next like 5 years, you guys will just continuously get BFG gifts.
Right?
And
Sure.
maybe there's
You're,
a
like,
sequel.
ready
I hope
for
you
it.
guys didn't get killed off because maybe there's a sequel. Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows? Okay, next question.
Emily Saunders.
Emily Saunders, if you could voice a character in any Disney movie, what character and what movie?
I know exactly who mine would be.
Oh wow, he had it prepared.
Well, because it now falls under the canon of Disney, Lando Calrissian.
Do you have a Billy D. Williams impression?
I have a Billy D. Williams story, but we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time to tell the story properly.
Which is a shame because I love
Can we
Billy
hear?
D. Williams.
Can we hear the story afterwards? And
Yes.
then, okay,
Okay.
cool. We'll
Sorry,
let you
guys.
guys in. We'll let you guys in on
Maybe
the secrets.
maybe I'll Snapchat it.
You know what I have to say? I really love the genie.
The
Yes!
genie. Well, you get to be
It's a
everybody
great
if you do the
one.
genie. right?
Yeah.
I love the genie. I love Robin Williams.
That's cool. That's a really fun answer, actually.
Okay.
And one more. One more. from the chat.
Okay. I wish I had like a fishbowl
Solid
because it's
answers.
like hard to. Oh my goodness.
Oh wait, what was that one? Oh, we already got that one.
Yeah, we got that one. If you. Keetin, can the Giants shout out this?
Oh yeah. Okay, so that's fair.
Yeah.
We usually give shout out to the chat. If you guys could shout out their names in the voice of
In
the
the
Giants.
voice of the Giants.
Here, scroll up so they can see.
Yeah, we're gonna
them.
scroll up. So like their names are in gray. So if you guys just want to like start taking names and like shouting them out in your Giants voice, I feel like they'd be so excited.
Here, scroll up so they can see
Yeah.
more names. Like
Oh,
scroll the screen up.
Scroll the screen up.
Shout out to, she moved the thing on me.
I'm so sorry.
I can't see anything now.
I'm scared.
To Alyssa Wassam
Well, I said to Miranda Perry.
and Mouse Talk. Sounds delicious.
Oh, yeah, I like that Emily Saunders.
Alyssa Wassam.
It's Elisa. I just learned that.
Oh, Elisa. Oh, sorry.
Is that Maggie? Maggie Kutzo.
Oh, I was moving a lot. And Bendy.
Bendy.
He's bendy. He's bendy. He's like a
wiggly and
straw.
chewy. He's wiggly and chewy like.
Oh, and Evelyn.
Oh, Jimenez.
I
I like them because they're a little bit spicy, ain't they? Those Latins.
Oh, yeah.
Got a little extra flavor to
Mouse
them.
Talk. Hey. It's for horses. I like meat.
I don't want to stop.
Listen, guys. Next week, we're just doing an hour of this.
We don't like the BFG because he's a vegan, innit?
He is.
He eats squash. I noticed.
Runt.
Only organic.
I also want to say, in my mind, I imagine the three trolls from The Hobbit as well, like just like arguing over how they're gonna cook the hobbits.
Can you guys say our names?
Yeah, can you say ours?
Leo.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Oh, hi there, Keetin.
Thank you guys so
Thank
much
you.
for that.
Oh my gosh. That
And thank
was
you
so
to everyone
wonderful.
out there in the chat room who tuned in to watch this. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for all of your interaction. We really appreciate it. And thank you to our guests, you guys. Thank you
Yes,
so much for
thank you.
coming
Had a
in.
great time.
Thanks for
God.
playing with us.
Thank
Like,
you
it
so
was
much.
so much fun.
Great stories, but one more to go after this
Yeah,
the show.
one more.
I'm never forgetting.
And anytime you guys want to come back, you just let us know.
That's right.
Yeah.
And make sure you guys subscribe to Popcorn Talk on YouTube, and you can follow me at Mr. Leo Zombie. Where can they follow you?
You guys can follow me again all over the interwebs at Keetin Marchi. And where can they follow you guys and what you guys are up to?
At Paul Moniz de Sa.
And at the Daniel Bacon.
Do it, or they'll eat your bones. Apparently. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.